We're moving on to segment number 25 of our Halloween special, and we're going to play Jeopardy Deluxe Edition for the SNES. Let's see how we do. We just played the first edition of Jeopardy for the SNES and won over $68,000. Let's see how we do in the deluxe version. Jeopardy. We have Liz and Rob facing me today. Here we go.
Here are the categories.
We're dealing with these categories: classical music, American Indians, sports, fictional characters, quotes, and finally, number please. Alright, I can deal with these categories. We'll start things off with American Indians for 100.
The answer is...
Iroquois villages were often surrounded by these water barriers. Moats. It was moats. American Indians, 200.
The answer is...
During the Revolutionary War, the Cherokee fought on this side. They were the British. They fought for the British. American Indians, 300.
The answer is...
The Bureau of Indian Affairs has been an arm of this government department since 1849. Well, we hear from Liz. Let's see if she knows this one. Interior. Correct. So Liz has her first bit of cash, and she makes the next selection. Quotes, 100. Okay, we're going to switch things up a little bit. W.C. Field said, start every day off with one of these and get it over with. What is a smile? Quotes for 200.
The answer is...
This organ of animals is the foundation of their life, William Harvey claimed in 1628. What is the heart? Quotes, 300.
The answer is...
In 1940, during one of his fireside chats, FDR said, we must be the great arsenal of this. If Rob gets this right, we're going to have a three-way tie for the lead. Democracy, and I was thinking that for some reason or another, but that's okay. Everybody has $300 in cash, and Rob makes the next selection as we continue. Fictional characters, 100.
The answer is...
The Spitz is Buck's arch rival, and Buck eventually kills him in this Jack London novel. What is the Call of the Wild? Fictional characters, 200.
The answer is...
When he lived in Lilliput, the natives gave him meat and drink enough for 1,720 of their own people. Who is Gulliver? That's right. 300? Fictional characters, 300 that is? Okay. Jack Barnes is a hero in love with Lady Brett Ashley in this Hemingway tale. What is The Sun Also Rises? Fictional characters, 400.
The answer is...
Tom Jones was raised by Mr. Allworthy, who was actually this relative of Tom's. What is his uncle? Let's have fictional characters for 500. Daily Double. 700. Alright, let's put me at $2,000 if I'm right on this clue. Elizabeth Bennet, heroine of this novel, was her father's favorite among 5 daughters. Elizabeth Barrow, Elizabeth Bennet, heroine of this novel, was her father's favorite among 5 daughters. I'll just go ahead and say, what is Pride and Prejudice? Oh, I misspelled it anyway. It was, oh, it was right! Oh, I should have put an E instead of a D. Ugh. Misspelled it, but that's okay, I'm still in the lead. Quotes 400.
The answer is...
Man alive. Man has injured every animal he has touched, wrote this great California naturalist. Oh, man, I got it. If only I put an E instead of a D. Oh, man. John Muir. But it's okay. It's okay. Don't let it get to you. Just bounce back. You can bounce back. Sports 100.
The answer is...
At the Highland Games, all Scots who want to toss the caber or the weight must wear this. What's a kilt? Sports 200. Tied for the lead with Liz right now.
The answer is...
Persia may have been the birthplace of this equestrian sport. What is polo? Sports for 300.
The answer is...
Though Hartford isn't a seaport, its pro hockey team is called this. Oh, I forget this one. The Whalers. Sports 400.
The answer is...
Not only a neighborhood tough, but also a term for a face-off at a field hockey game. What is a bully? And I'll have sports for 500.
The answer is...
Sizzling the pits, lollipop and digging terms are terms of this sport on the court or on the beach. What is volleyball? Okay, I'll have quotes for 500.
The answer is...
Ends a biblical quote, to everything there is a season and a time for every purpose. Rob. Under the heaven. Okay, he's right. You're up to $1,100, Rob. You're in second place. You get to make the next selection as we continue. Classical music 100.
The answer is...
Berlioz neglected his medical study in this capital to spend his nights at the opera. What is Paris? Classical music 200.
The answer is...
Leopold Mozart, who was this relative of Wolfgang, was a famous composer too. Who was his grandfather? And we'll have classical music for 300, please.
The answer is...
1940 Disney film with the music of Bach, Beethoven, Stravinsky, Schubert, and Mussorgsky. What is Fantasia? Classical music for 400.
The answer is...
This master composer of ballets was the leading Russian composer of the late 19th century. Who is Tchaikovsky? And I'll have classical music for 500.
The answer is...
Prokofiev's piece about a little Homo sapiens and a Canis lupus. What is Peter and the Wolf? American Indians for 400.
The answer is.
Answer there. The birth of her son, Baptiste, was recorded by Meriwether Lewis on February 11th, 1805. Who was Sacagawea? Sacagawea, yeah. American Indians for 500.
The answer is.
A city near Detroit is named for this Ottawa chief who united the Great Lakes tribes in 1763. Pontiac, yep. Your turn, Liz. Number, please, 100.
The answer is.
In most schools, it's a perfect grade point average. What is 4.0? 200.
The answer is.
Number of strings on a standard Spanish guitar. What is 6? 300, please.
The answer is.
Though most retire later, you can join the American Association of Retired Persons at this age. What is 65? No, that is wrong. Yeah. It's 50. Oh, okay.
The answer is.
Democrats oppose the Whig campaign slogan, "Who is James Polk? With these members or fight." What are 5440? Now the last clue.
The answer is.
Of the 3 estates, the one designating the clergy in France and the Lord Spiritual in England. Liz? The first. So at the end of the Jeopardy round, I'm in the lead with 4,100. Liz 1,700. Rob 1,400. So he's going first in Double Jeopardy. And we're dealing with these categories in Double Jeopardy. Furniture starts with the letter O. Holland. Middle East. Ballet, and finally, education. Oh, these categories could very well be on my side, and maybe the clues too. It all depends. Rob, where are we going? It starts with O for 200.
The answer is.
And the answer there is, with Oklahoma, the other 2 states whose names begin with O, what are Ohio and Oregon? Oh, no! Oh, shoot. I was trying to put the N in there and it wouldn't let me. Ugh. Oh, that makes me mad. Yeah, I knew it, but I just hit the start button too soon. It would not let me put in that N. Alright, Aubrey, don't get your blood pressure up. Education 200.
The answer is.
Okay, we're alright. Veterans were first granted funds to continue their education under this 1944 bill. What is the GI Bill? There we go. I'll have starts with O or begins with O. Starts with O, 400.
The answer is.
Lacking a keenness and comprehension, or an angle that is more than 90 degrees but less than 180. What is obtuse? I'll have starts with O for 600, please. Daily double. All in. Here's the clue. In the 1800s, this empire became known as the sick man of Europe because of its weakening power. What is the Ottoman? Starts with 0800.
The answer is
Small children should be kept away from this shrub with red or white blossoms. It's poisonous. It's the oleander. Starts with 1000.
the answer is
Okay. In printing, it's a dagger sign. In New York and London, it's Cleopatra's Needle. What is an obelisk? That's right, $10,000. I'll have education for 400,
the
please.
answer is
U.S. educator who advised Teddy Roosevelt and tapped on racial problems in politics. Who is Booker T. Washington? We'll go with education for 600.
the answer is
At most U.S. high school graduations, the second-ranking student gives a welcoming address. Who is the salutatorian? Education 8.
the answer is
The highest possible score on the math or verbal section of the Scholastic Aptitude Test. What is 800? Education 1000.
the answer is
The language spoken at the first U.S. kindergarten opened in 1856 in Watertown, Wisconsin. What is German? I'll have ballet
the
200.
answer is
Frederick Ashton played one of the ugly stepsisters in this ballet he choreographed. What is Cinderella? Ballet for 400, please.
the answer is
Suzanne Yaffe performed part of this expiring bird ballet at George Bush's inaugural gala. What is Swan Lake? We'll go ballet for 600, please.
the answer is
The Moor's Pavane is a ballet of love, death, and betrayal based on this play. What is Othello? Ballet for 800, please.
the answer is
Answer there. In the ballet Sylvia, this goddess of the hunt mortally wounds the villain with an arrow. Who is Diana? Ballet for 1000.
the answer is
A pop poisson is a movement in which a dancer bends her body like one of these creatures. What is a fish? Good for another 1,000. $15,800 now. Let's have Holland, or furniture rather, 200.
the answer is
Answer there. A low bed designed to roll under a larger bed. It was also called a truckle bed. What is a trundle bed? I'll have furniture for 400.
the answer is
The roll top style of this has a convex cover that slides over the work surface. What is a desk? I'll have furniture for 600.
the answer is
A Chesterfield is a large, overstuffed one of these, often having scrolled arms. What is a sofa? That's right. Furniture, 800.
The answer is.
Oh, careful. A sideboard is most associated with this room of a house. What is a dining room? And let's have furniture for 1,000.
The answer is.
Last clue. The Boston variety of these moving chairs usually has a curved seat that dips down in front. What is a rocking chair? Well done in that category. Holland, 200, please.
The answer is.
Answer there. In Holland, he's known as Sinterklaas, who's Santa Claus. Let's have 400, please, Holland.
The answer is.
Answer there. The Holland Herald is this airline's in-flight magazine. What is KLM Royal Dutch Airlines? Holland, 600.
The answer is.
At Kloppenbar in Amsterdam, you can watch these being made. What are wooden shoes? That's going to put me at a nice round, even number of $20,000. Holland, 800.
The answer is.
The hat colors of porters of this food at the Alkmaar market indicate the guild they work for. What is cheese? And we'll have Holland for 1,000.
The answer is.
And the answer there is. Aruba separated from this island group in 1986 and will be fully independent in 1996. What are the Netherlands Antilles? So we know the daily doubles in the category of the Middle East. 200.
The answer is.
Answer there. When war broke out on September 22nd, 1980, when fighter bombers from this nation attacked 10 Iranian airfields, what is Iraq? Is the daily double in the $400 clue? Let's find out.
The answer
No, it's
is.
not. Okay, we know where it is. The building of Aswan High Dam in the 1960s was financed by loans from this country. What is the USSR? 600.
The answer is.
Of all the Arab countries, this one has the highest percentage of Christians, about 40%. What is Lebanon? Let me have the Middle East for 1,000.
The answer is.
In 1941, Syria gained its independence from this European country. What is France? Let's look at that last clue, which is all mine because it is the other daily double. All of it. This country's national airline is Alia. What is Jordan? And that's going to put me at $48,000 as we get ready to play Final Jeopardy. Categories and clues were on my side that time. Let's look at our Final Jeopardy category. It's autobiographies. I'm going to go just $2,000. This co-star of the Road movies called her book My Side of the Road. I'm going with who is Dorothy Lamour. If she's right, I go to $50,000. If I'm wrong, I still have $46,000, so I'll have a lot of money either way. Let's go to Alice.
The final Jeopardy answer is...
Is it Dorothy Lamour? Yes, it is. So we're going to put $50,000 in our Halloween special bank. Did Liz get Dorothy Lamour? Yes, she did. She doubles her money to $3,400. Did Rob come up with Dorothy Lamour? He did not. And he drops to $1,000. I, on the other hand, did come up with Dorothy Lamour, putting me at $50,000. And I'll see you all for that next segment right after this.